Good morning and welcome to a video on outdoor pursuits. So this is just a follow up from the first video I've just put on there, obviously at home, putting the trailer on, getting it all kitted up, ready for the road and ready for the trip over to Bewlwater. So I'm not far away now, just it's literally an hour or so's drive, just over an hour's drive from my place to Bewlwater, so it's not too sad. And you just have to remember there's a fair bit of traffic on the way for a few sections, because obviously it gets a little bit clogged up in the industrial and residential parts of the trip over. There's a couple of different ways I can go, but I tend to stick to one particular route because I know that route anyway. Anyway, based on the fact that we are going to try and sail, what's the wind doing? Well, last night, funny enough, and the last couple of days when I've been looking at it on the apps, it hasn't been too bad. It has been saying that it's going to be fairly windy, up to, if I remember rightly, yesterday was something like up to about 16 miles per hour, something like that. But nowhere near as much as it's saying at the moment. And to be honest with you, on the way down here, it has been blowing these trees about like nobody's business. Even the bushes are blowing about. So I don't know whether it's going to be too windy, because at the moment the app's saying 22 up to 26. For me, that's too much really. I don't want to be spending time in the water. I don't want to damage my boat. I don't want to be getting rescued, and I just don't want the hassle of trying to get the boat in the water, sail it well, and then getting it back out of the water, and etc. So we'll see. Based on it at the moment, it looks too much. I am sailing tomorrow at another lake, and it's supposed to be a little bit less windy, so that could be my only get out of jail card, sort of my only fix of the week. We could try it today, see what it's like. It's going to be well above my experience, but the thing is, if you don't try these things, and I've always learned that sometimes you just got to take the bull by the horns and try these things, haven't you? As I said in my previous videos, everything I've learned, yes, some of it I've had help, and I've gone on courses, but the initial build up to that and the help and advice to get to them courses and complete them, and then go on after the courses to be able to do these activities well, is all based on, well, it's all been based on my own, on myself really. The trouble is with a lot of things now, and especially at sailing, it is quite difficult to get into unless you know somebody, or you've been brought into it from childhood, because your parents do it, etc., or family members. But if you're coming into these kind of activities a little bit later on, then it can be quite difficult and challenging. Now I like a challenge. I've always been that way. I want to do something and learn something, and I'll go out and do it, and it's got to be done then and there. And I always thrive on doing something really well, and generally speaking, when it's come down to cycling, martial arts in the past, and one thing or another, I've generally learned and became quite good, or done very well, and in some cases done exceptionally well. So, but that's because I pushed myself, and that's obviously something that's built into me, and that's the way I am. I don't tend to do things by halves. It's either got to be 100% 100 miles an hour and it's got to be full on and done properly, or not at all, and wind that window up. So, you know, I like to do things properly and like to do things well, but sometimes it isn't always the case, because things take a lot of time to basically learn and become good at. So we'll see what the wind's like down here today. I have bought a radial sail now for this particular laser, and I have done a lot of work on it recently as well. I've replaced a lot of lines, a lot of rigging rather. I've replaced the sail and mast as well, so now I've got a radial sail and a radial mast to go with that, so that I can sail in much windier conditions. So today obviously would be a definitely radial sail, and if I was coming down here with a full rig today, there's no way I'd be going out there, because I'd just be capsizing all the time. Today I probably may capsize, but we'll see. I don't intend to, obviously, but you know, I am still learning how to sail properly. I want to go onto the bigger boat soon, so this year and next year will be a testing time, because it will get me into dinghy sailing, and then I'll progress on to the bigger boats at some point. I was going to do that this year, but I decided against that. A lot of things to do with time, money and experience, basically. I think if I'd started doing dinghy sailing a few years back, then I probably would have been by now on the bigger yachts and boats, because although the mooring fees and etc are all quite expensive to own a boat and run it, I think I've probably spent as much on this one as a small dinghy so far, on bits and pieces and one thing or another, than I probably would have on a bigger boat. When you think about the mooring costs on them is sort of up to £1,000, and then, you know, there's bits and pieces on top of that. I've probably spent that, to be fair, on a £250 laser dinghy which I bought, so with one thing or another. But I would get most of that back if I was to sell my, you know, my laser, 100%. I'm just going over a little bump now, and I like to go these quite slowly, because it's on the trailer and it bounces around a little bit. I don't like it when it bounces around too much, because when it's strapped down, I don't want to mess up the straps, loosen them or damage anything. So coming into Bewlwater is a little bit what's the word, precautious, a little bit tricky, because there's a lot of potholes, and the only thing, and it's not just Bewlwater, is it? It's so many places now you go to, you're just searching for a decent pathway. Even if you go down your road outside your house, you're searching for a pathway now without going down horrible potholes. So where was I? Yeah, probably will at some point soon or later go up to a bigger boat. But at the moment we will concentrate on the laser and the dinghy sailing, because that's going to get me the experience to be able to learn to sail upwind and downwind, and it's going to give me a bit of experience. So, and it might also help me later on get by a boat, because there's always people about these places that have got bigger boats, funny enough, and although someone that's selling a boat, funny enough. I'll just look at the way. I think we'll go down this way. Yeah, this is the way in. I've changed the route, or been changing a few things around at Bewlwater exit, because obviously it's getting busier. Right, we are here. Let's go and see a sign on, or sign the car in rather, on the registration, and let's go and tell them we're here and get rigged up if we can. See what the weather's doing first, what the wind's doing rather, because at the moment it does look a little bit interesting, shall we say. See you in a little while in the next video. Alright, here we are. Hello, welcome to another video on Outdoor Pursuits. So obviously I'm here, just talking to the last video on the way down here, and it's not too bad. The sun is beating at the back of me there, so I don't know if you can see me. Should hopefully be able to see me. Car on the boat there behind me. There's the slipway just there. Obviously, just there where we're going to launch from. So yeah, it's not too bad. It's supposed to pick up though. I was a bit worried, as I said, in the car. Obviously, there is quite a bit of a gust, a few gusts every now and again. I think the best thing to do, I can feel that now, that gust coming. I think the best thing to do is get it rigged up, get on that water, and hopefully do some videos when we're out there, because that is picking up a little bit. And it's supposed to pick up through the day, and I haven't got much time. So I want to get out there and get a bit of sailing in, and then pack up and go home. See you on the next one. Alright, here we are recording. Yeah, we're recording. So at the moment we're heading downwind. We're out here, been out here for about an half hour to 45 minutes now. It's not really windy, but it's like the gusts, they just like come out of nowhere and then they hit you, and you're either going upwind or downwind, whatever you're doing. It's like literally catches you by surprise. I'm trying to look for the gusts as much as I can, but it is quite nice out here. It's quite choppy for a reservoir anyway. I'm struggling with my downhaul at the moment. It's not seeming to be gripping, so I'm losing a bit of. I'm losing the main sheet seems to come. The clue strap keeps coming undone as well, which I'll fix, and then the downhaul looks like the cleats or the actual rigging rope itself probably wants replacing. I'll do that as well. But glasses got from Bewlwater today, £25. Gloves I've got fingerless ones. Well, they move. They obviously got little cuts in them, so they move to fingerless if you need them, which is why I can do this video in, because otherwise I couldn't do it. It's actually quite nice. Look, it's not bad. It was a little bit of rain earlier. It's a bit hit and miss. It literally is like that today. It's if I just move round to there, and there we go. Right, I've got to be a bit careful because I don't want to move my tiller too much. And now we're speeding up a little bit, so obviously we're going downwind. So it's getting a little bit unsteady. I'm going to let you go. Speak to you in a minute. Here we are, just going downwind now. And I can feel that wind really pushing now. Got the mainsail right out. Probably on almost, yeah, a training run. I'm going to have to turn here. I need to get attacking. Sorry, a jibe. So I've got to go. Right, welcome to another video on my channel. So this is the end of today's session at Bewlwater. Oh, what an an absolute brilliant sail that's been. There's been I've had a few capsizes. The wind gusts in the last, probably the last half hour to an hour, have really picked up. And when them gusts hit you, if you're not ready for it, it just literally just capsizes me straight away. So with my experience, obviously it's a bit much for me, but you're only going to gain experience unless you go out there and try and experience the actual rowboat handles in the wind and what to do with the controls, etc. As you can see, if I turn around now, you may be able to see them trees behind me. That is, someone's just calling me back. Thank you, yeah, is it flying away? Flying away? Thanks a lot. As you can see, my bits are flying all over the place. Guys just picked up a bag for me. It's flying down the road. It's really choppy out there now. It's really picked up. Surfers are out there, and even they're having a good time. If you look at the trees behind me, and as I said, there's the foil surfers, whatever you want to call them out there. So I'm going to pack up now. The boat done quite well, a few capsizes as I said, and managed to catch most of them as dry capsizes, as they say. So that was good. I need to get up and packed up because it's really windy, and there goes the kayakers. They're mad. Look, going out. Nice windy session for them, that's for sure. I need to get packed up and get out because it's getting really windy and all these gears flying about. See you on the next video. And sadly, that was the end of a day sailing at Bewlwater Reservoir this morning. Very windy, very gusty, very tough on myself, and it really pushed my experience of sailing to the absolute maximum this morning. And I've learned massive amounts already through sailing, and I've learned a lot more this morning as well about the boat, the controls, etc., and wind speeds, and everything else that goes with sailing. But I have still massive amounts to learn, and I'm enjoying every single minute of Bewlwater Reservoir, Woodhurst. Don't forget to please like and subscribe.